The recording is started. I think, yes, it is started. Yeah. So, to do a quick recap. So, Hare Krishna, Prabhujis and Matajis for everyone. I think we are seeing good numbers today. Till last minute, the venue was doubtful. So, finally, we got this venue. Okay. So, to quickly recap, Hare Krishna. So last week we did chapter 2, that is Gita summarized, where we have divided the chapter 2 into 4 lessons. 4 lessons. What was they? That was shortcut was Gita, G-I-T-A. What does G mean? Anyone remembers? G, the need of a spiritual guru in our life. G, guru. So here there are a lot of we see on a daily basis or in our society or 5000 years back, if you see the warrior, great warrior like Arjuna himself, he was known to be a great warrior. He fought war with Lord Shiva and won and got Pashpatastra. So he was a brave and courageous warrior. Everyone knows about him. So a personality like Arjuna himself needed a spiritual master. So we need to understand who are relatively serious in spiritual life, or they wanted to be serious in their spiritual life. They need spiritual master in their life to guide, to get a guidance. So that we need to understand. So this kind of confusion and indecision are applicable for greatest warrior like Arjuna. What are we? So we need to understand the consciousness that this particular Bhagavad-Gita is mainly for Grihasthas and only for us. That's what we discussed. So that was the first point where we mentioned where Arjuna was suffering with lot of doubts like bodily attachments, sinful reactions. So like that he was saying didn't want his relatives or friends, even in both the parties he didn't want anyone to be killed. So that's what it shows, his compassionate nature towards others. So here he is trying to similarly, if you see in our daily life also, we are very fearful of our bodies. Simple injury we fear a lot. So Corona has proven that nobody can be escaped despite doctors and scientists availability. So that's what the point what he was saying, and what is the goal of life. So where are we supposed to go? So that's what his questions were valid enough. That's what these questions were valid enough. Where is the goal of life, and where are we supposed to go, and why do we suffer, and what is the purpose of life? Actually, if we go outside and ask anyone, what is the purpose of life, what is the goal of life, what do you think most of them would be saying? Any guesses? Any guesses? I think there is no need to explain about this. I think I already explained. Okay. So what do you think people might be saying? If generally auto wala is going, Basu, enti jeevita laksham enti? Of course, konచెం comedy anukuntadu. He will be thinking, what is this? What is he asking? But what will he say if he asks this question? Food and money, right? Yeah. Food and money. That's actually people don't have understanding of goal of life. They don't know. Actually, people are living like that without any goal. That's what we need to understand. But in Vedas it is explained what are the varnas. In the coming slides we will be seeing like what each and varna were there earlier. 4 varnas were there, and everyone was supposed to do their prescribed duties and grow in their spiritual journey. Okay. So need of a guru was there, and how to act in certain situations. There will be lot of situations. Every one of us here in this assembly, we have come to an age, it's not a small kid, but we have come to an age where we have come across so many situations in our life where we might be in a dilemma on how to act in these certain situations. And we would have acted with whatever the knowledge or whatever the material knowledge we gained. I did 10th topper, 12th topper, degree topper, I am a PhD holder. So with this knowledge, what are the best planning I am doing, I am the best. But we might have seen so many situations, and if we introspect ourselves, we will be seeing a lot of situations ourselves that after finishing that, you might have think, I should have acted that way. So there, the need of spiritual masters is very much needed, especially the people who are inclined towards spirituality. So that's what, so need of Guru and accepting Krishna as a spiritual master was a decision what Arjuna has taken in the second chapter. And Krishna being, Krishnam Vande Jagadguru, he is not only Guru for Arjuna, but he is a Guru for everyone. Any doubts? Anyone wants to say that Krishna is not Jagadguru? I hope everyone accepts, right? Anyway, debate. Lucky that I got an assembly where there is no resistance here. Okay, next one what we discussed was about identity. Gita, next second lesson in the same second chapter, second point was identity. Who are we? What is the true identity? From where are we coming? When we are only soul. We are drivers of a body, not the body itself. Already we have seen that with the innumerable examples in the last session, wherein that's a consciousness what it is there, what makes us, not the body. So that's what we have come to a conclusion, and we have scientifically also proved that rebirth, reincarnations are there. If you are really interested, there are universities in Oxford University and in Bangalore in India. There are so many research department. Have you any time known that we in our engineering colleges we might have seen the physics department, electronics and communications department, or chemistry department we might have heard or we might have seen in person. But have we come across any scenario where a department only for reincarnations and rebirth are there? Have you even ever tried that? Knowing? But it is there already. I told you, Ian Stevenson, there are a lot of other people are there who have scientifically proved that reincarnations are there. There is a specific book also with different cases that they remember the past lives and all. So that's what is being talked about in the second lesson of chapter 2. That is, who are we, and so rebirth and advantages of, and what is the advantages of having the knowledge of soul and body. Everyone knows English here, right? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we'll continue with English only. So so what is the advantages of knowing about body and soul? Here, luckily, I got a good audience where everyone agree that so we are soul and not body. So what is the advantage of knowing this, the knowledge of soul and body? What is the advantage? అవును రా భయ్, నేను సోలే. ఇప్పుడు ఏంటంత విషయం ఏంటి నాకు చెప్పండి. What is the advantage? Huh? Yes. వినపడలేదు ప్రభు సరిగ్గా. Sorry. Yes, you are right. With the help of this instrument, we have to progress. Yes, that's good. Yeah. Anything else? Just think about a world or a society where everyone is just. I know it's very dangerous or very it's very dangerous or it's very impossible thing to imagine, but think about a situation of a world where everyone is aware of the knowledge of soul and body, and everyone knows that it's a soul and we are not bodies. If everyone is it, will there be racism? Will there be Germans and Jews fights, India-Pakistan war? Everyone will be working towards Lord, and they will be trying to engage in the plans of Lord. It's a very ideal situation, I know, but think about it. I don't know if I can quote this example. I've seen a movie by name Dongaramudu and Party in one of the Telugu movie, Dongaramudu and Party, wherein that village, that's a very idealistic village where no one does any fault. And to that village, everyone in the villages are very broad in nature. And to that village, one thief comes to attack. And finally, the moral of the story is that the thief transforms and he becomes themselves, and he also becomes good like them. That's a moral. But sometimes we have to have we need to have a society like that. It's an idealistic scenario, but while the Kali Yuga is progressing, it is very difficult to have it. But imagine to have a knowledge of body and soul. There will be it will be no racism, no country wars, nothing. Permanent universal brotherhood would be there around the world. That's the advantage of having the knowledge of who are we and what is the soul, the advantage of knowing the knowledge of soul and body. And third lesson what we heard was about two duties. So in the two duties, what were the two duties? We in the second lesson we known that we are having a material body, but it is not completely material, but it is having a spirit soul also. So we comprises of a material body along with a spiritual soul. So that is the reason why we are combination of matter and spirit. That is the reason why we are having two duties. One materialistic swadharma, other is spiritual swadharma. Materialistic swadharma is what? I have to do my prescribed duty as a mother, husband, father, grandson, grandfather and all. Those are the materialistic swadharma, what we need to do. Similarly for our spirit, we need to have a spiritual swadharma. That is Sanatana Dharma. That is always having a connection towards the Lord. Okay, so that's what we talked about. So like that, similar to Kshatriya duty, sometimes again coming to the Swadharma, material Swadharma, if a body is taking a birth in these four Varnas, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra, they are having their own prescribed duties. Like Kshatriya, he has to protect the citizens. Brahmana, he has to propagate the knowledge. And Vaishya is the Varna where he has to earn money and distribute to, he has to manage the remaining three Varnas, Kshatriya and Brahmans and Shudras. So that is only applicable for Vaishyas. So that we need to understand. So we need, that's what he was saying. And even all of them, despite performing all these two duties and all, there are always, connection, whether you are there in this body or next body, you need to always have a connection towards God, because that soul travels from one body to another body. So that vertical connection we should never forget. Luckily born in India in this Bharatvarsha, we at least have that advantage, and it's a little bit advanced topic, and we keep our kids' names with the God's names. One reason, why we keep God's names? I think you might be able to answer. You know why we keep God's names for our kids? Srinivas, Mahesh, Venkatesh, Venkatesha, why? Narayana. Yeah.
So they can have quality of the God in them.
Quality of a God in them. Yes. 1 point, right? Anything else comes to mind?
They can keep calling also.
Keep calling. Because Ajamila story, right? Because at the end, the last moment, remembering God's name is very difficult. At least if your kid's attachment, if you call Narayana, I think everyone knows Ajamila story, right? So that is the Indian culture. Recently, one of my colleagues joined. His name is Ramakrishna. So I don't like to discuss my spiritual topics in my professional life. I don't discuss spiritual topics in my professional life. Then somehow they dragged me into the discussion, and I would not stop once they drag it. Intentionally they invite a problem, I can't stop it, right? So he was asking, why you keep your name? I said Ramakrishna. No, my father is a superstar Krishna fan. That's the reason why he kept his name, Ramakrishna. And he don't know why these names aren't kept. But luckily, India being such a land where we are having God's names to their kids, it's a very advanced topic. But Indians who pass in this body will again take birth in India only. At least they will be having a human birth. That thing is that advanced acharyas have said, being born, advantage of going through in India is, one advantage is this. Okay. So like this, Karma Kanda and Karma Yoga, in brief we have discussed, and about Buddhi Yoga also. Similarly, this kind of activities like Swadharma, material Swadharma and spiritual Swadharma, whoever does, how they will be, what they are called? They are called Atmarams. But if they are only doing for their sense enjoyment, okay, నాలుగు చివుచివుకోమంటుంది, కాఫీ, టీ, సోడా, కోకోకోలా, థమ్స్ అప్ తాగాలి, I need to drink all this. So that's a, Indriyaram, they will be called as Indriyaram, and those are self-satisfied, they are called Atmaram. Okay, so that we talked about briefly in the second chapter. Now in the third chapter, we are going to again have 4 lessons. And third, yeah. Please.
When we say this Swadharma,
Swadharma.
so connecting that with the Varna.
Yes.
So in the current world,
Mataji, can we discuss elaborately, because we are coming to that topic in detail in the third portion of it, because in the prescribed duties we are going to discuss elaborately in the same chapter, because in the second chapter only at a high level we touched it. In the third chapter we are going to elaborate it. Okay, so yeah.
so how do we know it's right?
Yeah.
We always say that many.
Yes, Mataji. That I think I mentioned it in first or second. Mataji, gurus, we need to always see gurus only in sampradayas, only who are under disciplinic succession. There are a lot of gurus. It has become a fashion statement these days. Oh, I have guru. It has become a fashion statement. But it is not. But in market there might be so many gurus who are from non-sampradaya. They might be having million followers.
In Sampradayas also,
No, yeah.
there are so many.
Yes.
So, am I right? Am I taking?
Coming to that, madam. Mataji. So in sampradayas also there are so many gurus. Okay, now let us divide into. Now I am not talking about upsampradaya. Now let us come to sampradayas. In sampradayas also there might be so many gurus. In so many gurus also their mood will be different. Similar to parent, a kid is having, but parents, father and mother are there. It's not. Let me not take this example. Let me take the example of your teachers. For example, you are studying in degree college and you are almost having 7 to 8 lectures. In my engineering college, I had 10 lectures. 10 lectures. I can't say that everyone is bad. Everyone is bad. I can't say. But I like everyone. But specific to one teacher, we have a liking. Probably the way he tells, the way he sees the mood of the students. Okay, kids, students are falling asleep, so immediately he cracks a joke. So they might be, some people might not like jokes. They only serious stuff. Toppers, they don't like jokes in the middle of class. They like only serious stuff. But people like backbenchers, for the serious stuff they sleep. So there will be mood of specific guru. It doesn't mean that the guru is bad. For example, in our society, there are some gurus, Bhakti Raghav Swami Maharaj is there. I met him in Stockholm, and he basically into Varnashrama Dharma and cow protection. His mood is towards that, how to elevate the importance of cow protection in India. Though he is American by nation, he's in American body, by the way. He's not an Indian by body, but he's having that mood. And my aspiring spiritual master, Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he is basically into Vaishnava Seva, serving the Vaishnavas. He is into that mood. And similarly, if you see, Jaipatak Swami Maharaj, he's into, he's very merciful. He gives almost most of the initiations only he gives. Most of the initiations, and and his stature, he is paralyzed. Half of the body is almost paralyzed, and those paralyzed, why it occurs, Mataji, whom he initiates, those disciples are not following the regulations. Whatever the vows they have taken, they don't follow. So Mataji, to get attracted to one guru, you have to listen first about him. So you have to listen maximum spiritual gurus in the sampradaya only. Channajiyar Swamiji is there. He is in Sri Sampradaya. Sri Sampradaya also there are a lot of spiritual masters. Like that, you need to hear them to get attraction. So there will be one mood. It doesn't mean that we are not selecting other guru. Doesn't mean that they are bad. For our nature, there will be one mood to be selected. So you need to listen more. Shravanam Kirtanam. We need to Shravanam. We should do a lot. Yeah. I hope I answered you, Mataji. So that's what is about. These are doubts. Now coming to the third lesson about Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is such a chapter where we talk about karma, we talk about activities, and how great the Lord is. But sometimes when I read this chapter, each and every block is applicable to each and every human being in our society. Atheists are there, karma kandis are there, and karma kandis are there, and nishkama karma yogis are there, gnana yogis are there, ashtanga yogis are there, bhaktas are there. You can categorize, and especially being in India, most of them are not atheists, but at least karma kandis are there. So we'll anyway come elaborately in the coming slides. Now coming to tyaga, renunciation at work, which is better, which tyaga or renunciation. So at this juncture, what happens is, so Arjuna thought to stop fighting, and he was happy because Krishna in the end says that it is abominable to avoid such activities, he said. Krishna says that it is abominable to avoid such activities, and Arjuna for a spur of moment feels happy that I think Krishna is saying the same thing, that killing these many people is abominable, so it is not good, and Krishna is also going to support me. That's what he thinks. But the intention behind him saying was something different, and he was happy that so Krishna is going to say that, and he will be happy for me to renounce. He was in that impression. So now renunciation or action. So one side is renouncing. Now coming to, if you see this slide here, one side is renunciation and other side is he is doing action. Now later Krishna says about karma and jnana. So in this karma and jnana, there are two types of people. There are two types of people where jnana yogis are talking about. Jnana yogis, the renounced work, and karma yogis who do prescribed work. So jnana yogis are the people who renounce work without taking responsibility. I need a rapt attention for this session, and please ask any doubts. There are very subtle differences between different categories here. Very, very subtle difference. So I want you to understand that. So jnana yogis are the ones who renounce work, and karma yogis who do prescribed work. Prescribed work can be job of a mother, job of a father, job as a student. As a kid, the prescribed work for a kid is studies. It doesn't mean that they should not play, but the priority is studies. Okay, we need to understand. So link is one with impure heart should perform prescribed activities for purification of the heart. This is explained in 13 verses. So one side is karma yoga, and this is coming to the purpose of prescribed duties. So why we do prescribed duties? Doing prescribed duties doesn't give a guarantee that you will be bhakta one day and you will be reaching God one day. No. But it is a step-by-step process for your purification. Purification. As I told in the last session, purification word is very, very important. Very, very important. Purification. I wanted to go with an example here. You often my Shiksha Guru quotes this. He knows one Prabhuji, his friend is there. And that Prabhuji listens to his wife left and right. People around him teases him on his back, saying that ye Joru ka gulam hai. And that Mataji is also too much demanding Mataji. Whatever the demand she does, Prabhuji simply obliges. Even silly reasons. Why I am saying silly is the example is he was going. There was a flight at 6 o'clock, and by 5 a.m. they should be in airport. And she wanted to take a selfie before the home, before we take a flight. So she was not getting ready. And for taking that selfie, that it was become 5:15, 5:30. And he was supposed to drive the car with both the families, taking them to airport. But she was not yet ready. So hurriedly she got ready, and finally at 5:30 they have taken selfie, and our Prabhuji has taken them to the airport. And a lot of people tease him that you are a Joru ka gulam, you are this, you are that, bhari ni control lo pettukoledu, you can't control your wife. What is this? A lot of people have been commenting. Then my Prabhuji, my Shiksha Guru asked him, what is this, Prabhuji? Is there any issue? Prabhuji, I wanted to somehow make this work. I wanted to make this somehow work. I have multiple options. I don't want to discuss about the options. I have multiple options. But he was ready to take the blame of the society, but he wanted to make this relation work. Make this relation work. Now, a normal human being might be taking a different action for this particular scenario. That is called purification, Mataji. But that particular, make that work, that particular statement is have a lot of weightage. That is called purification. He is undergoing agony inside, but still he wanted to make that work. In this series of action, he is going to get purified, Mataji. And anyway, whatever the situation he is facing at this moment, he is due to his past karmas. We agree that. But further increasing his negative karma, he don't want to make in this relation, but he wanted to bear that and continue make this relation work, and pray to the Lord to make this relation work. I hope, am I clear in this example? This purification word is very important. It might be between father and son, it might be between mother and daughter-in-law, it might be mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, whatever it may be. It's very difficult. It's very difficult proposition. I know it is very difficult. There might be extreme situations. But, yeah, but,
When the people are giving society, how society is acting.
yeah.
So they are not talking about their relationship with wife or children and
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
that is ego.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
But Prabhuji and Mataji try to understand, always there are exceptions. I am not recommending that always it is right, but that is purification. So that's what is I am talking about, Purpose of prescribed duties is self-purification and self-realization. Because for self-realization, purification is must. Renouncement is not that Krishna is not saying renounce, but that is a very later stage or a climax stage, renounce. But before that, these things have to happen. Self-purification and self-realization. That's what he is talking about. So now coming to Nishkama Karma, I think, yeah. So we need to understand that the self-purification, do prescribed duties, Kshatriya, according to scriptures in detached mode, knowing you are a soul, get purified, and after the purification, knowledge awakens, and continue performing prescribed duty to set an example. And accent renounced order after fully purified. So renounced order is certified only after the purification and self-realization is done, not in the beginning stages. And luckily I got an opportunity to meet one Prabhuji who is almost 65 to 70 years old, who was there in Mayapur. I stayed in his home, and he was in renounced order. We were staying in his apartment flat in Mayapur, where he was a big businessman. Actually, the transportation business is there, and he did all his duties, and then he came into renounced order, and he is in Mayapur serving the lordships there and doing so. It's not that it is wrong, but that it has to be, there is a proper step for it. Okay? There is a proper step for it. So karma stage, we should do our prescribed duties. We need to understand that, and in a karma stage we need to do our prescribed duties. When I say prescribed duties, already like father, mother, and what are the duties are. And Gnana stage, he gets purified, and after in the Gnana stage, what happens is he gets purified and gets the knowledge. But in getting the knowledge himself, in purified heart only the knowledge awakens, to be frank. We need to understand that without heart being purified, fully knowledge awakening doesn't happen. Try to understand that. Very subtle statement. Without getting purified, the knowledge will not awaken. So, high level knowledge will be there, but spiritual knowledge with conviction you will not be able to accept it. Okay, so Krishna is not saying, we need to understand that Krishna is not saying two things to do simultaneously. He is saying two steps to do, when I say not simultaneously, two things to do together. He is not saying two. Karma also do, renounce also you do, Gnana, and both of them you should do together. He is not saying. He is saying one by one. First to do your prescribed activities, and doing prescribed activities, because while doing prescribed activities you will get purified. For example, a mother is there, he is sending kids to school, वो बहुत तंग करेगा. मैं चदवनु, I will not read, I will not do education, I will not read, I studied for 1 hour, what are you are forcing me too much and all, and you will beg him, अरे please ra nana chadavara either. That's a purification only. That's a purification only. And in that purification, there is a possibility he will come to your track and he will listen to you. And after he listens to you, then there is a possibility you can allot more time to spiritual subjects. Trying to understand who are we, what is the purpose of us, what is the goal of life. So that purification is must. As a mother, as a kid student, he goes to school. His master scolds him, why are you not studying and all. That's also purification to him. But kids, they need to understand. The purification happens for each and every soul, Mataji and Prabhujis. Each and every living entity, the purification happens. We need to realize that. I have personally seen a lot of devotees, they are making their relation work. Somehow they are making it work. 1 week back, when in our community, when I don't want to name the devotees, they are very good, very materially they are very opulent also. But the only common phenomenon what it makes their relationship work is they are good in traveling. They like traveling most. They like eating food outside. That is the only two common parameters which is making them together. Otherwise, it's not going well. So Prabhuji and Mataji goes to Switzerland sometimes, goes to some other locations sometimes, do that. But they know, but they have the knowledge. Luckily, the spiritual knowledge is there, and they know why it is occurring, and they have this knowledge, and they both are inclined to make that work. Mataji, Prabhuji's father and mother, they don't like Mataji. This is a love marriage. He is a anyway, I don't want to get into the details, but love marriage, and they don't like her, and she's a Brahmin, her culture and everything is different, and he's a Varna, by Varna, he's a Shudra, and it doesn't work, but they are making it work. Okay, so we need to understand these are not together going. First to do our karma, and essentially you grow up to Jnana stage. That's what Krishna is talking about. You do your karma, your prescribed duties, and eventually you will be going to the Gnana stage. When I say Gnana stage, self-realization stage. Okay, that's about now doing Nishkama karma is better for Arjuna than Jnana Yoga. Now coming to yes, ma'am.
Certain duties, responsibilities. So when we are doing that, sometimes can I assume that when we are doing that, sometimes we are renouncing our ego or anger because we are trying to make it work
Yes.
within the child
Yes.
or
Yes.
any
Yes.
relationship.
Yes, ma'am.
We are trying to make it happen. So in a way, by not compromising but renouncing
Yes, yes,
our
ma'am.
ego and
Yes.
jealousy, and we are training our mind
Yes, ma'am.
to give up that,
Yes,
to
ma'am.
let that go.
Yes, ma'am.
So that way we are purifying
Yes,
our
Mataji. Yes, Mataji. I mean, that really helps, Mataji. We will not know at that juncture, but eventually, you will feel that you need to do chanting, Mataji. You do these activities and you do chanting, right? The introspection, you yourself will be knowing it from inside. That yes, I am changing. Yes, there is a relatively I am progressing spiritually. You will know that. There are so many Matajis who are having kids, and they burn midnight oil to make them work or make them study and all, and they are equally detached also. It's not that. So again, detached is not a wrong word. They take care of their kids, they take care of everyone, and as a family responsibility they do it. They do everything, but they need to understand that something only to some extent it is there in our hands, not all the things. Okay, so now coming to what Mataji was saying, like purpose of prescribed duties. No, Brahmin prescribed duties, we need to understand. Basically, these prescribed duties, you can remember it as with a nomenclature called Tata. Tata means T for teacher, A for administration, T for teaching, administration, and trade and artisan. Got it? Teaching, administration, trade and artisan. So Brahmana, teaching, administration, Kshatriya, trade, Vaishya, and artisan, Shudra. So this how you can remember the 4 varnas and their duties. So it's the same thing we can apply in our current IT companies also. Can you? R&D department, research and development department is Brahman department. Administration department, Kshatriya department. Finance and accounting is Vaishya department, and workers are Shudras. So it's applicable in organization as well, if you closely observe. So we need to understand that, and in this way we need to understand that all the living entities who are there in this world are divided into these 4 psychophysical categories: varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas, and Shudras. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so it is not by birth.
Yes, ma'am. No, yeah, yes.
Which is why whatever we are doing.
Yes, Mataji.
Confusion out there, and there's a lot of collusion of thoughts of.
No, Mataji. I will see, Mataji. Scripturally, it's Dvija Janma they say. Okay, it is little bit advanced topic, but since you raised the topic, I mentioned. The thing is, it is not mandatory that Brahmin family born kid is a Brahmin. No, by birth it might be Brahmin, and for caste filling and all, they might be quoting as Brahmin, but no, it is by their quality. In scriptures also, in Srimad Bhagavatam it is mentioned. Rishabh Dev, you might have heard, right? Bhagavatam, Rishabh Dev, you might have heard? Yes or no? Rishabh Dev got 100 sons. 100 sons. Out of these 100 sons, 9 were Paramahamsas. 10 were Kshatriyas. And 81 were Karmakandis. So, on the from same father, they were divided into Kshatriya, Brahmana, Kshudras. So we need to understand it's not by birth you become a Brahmana. There are whoever Mataji, especially whoever inquires about spiritual knowledge, what is the goal of life, what is the purpose of our life, they are all called Brahmanas. And who are not inquiring about why this birth is, why this human life is, they are called Kripanas. Why Kripanas? Kripanas means Kanjus. English, what is that? What is the word for Kanjus? Huh? Miser, miser. Why miser? Because luckily after so many births he got human life and he is not leveraging for self-realization. They are spending their time for how I have to make my wife happy, how I have to educate my kids, and they should grow well, and they should do in good companies, and they should bring me good name, how to build buildings, how to buy Ferrari car and all. They are more materially attached and they are not leveraging this body for self-realization. Because whatever, eating, sleeping, mating, defending, apart from that, they are not spending time for self-realization. Because eating, mating, sleeping, defending happens even in animals as well. Animals, birds also it happens. Yes or no? It might be a harsh truth to listen, but that is true. Yes or no? It is very hard. Sometimes, I don't want to quote that example. Sometimes it is reality, harsh truth. Even, pig also enjoying. Yeah, it also eating. But just understand the pleasure parameter there. We are going to restaurants, eating, wow, what a wonderful yar. And pig also, the pleasure parameter is the same, right? Whatever it is eating, wow, wonderful. Eating, mating, sleeping, defending is happening in both animals, birds and humans also. But humans, that benediction is there where you can spend time. I can't make animals to sit here and listen, right? Only humans is having that capacity. God has given that body for that. So that we need to understand. So, I don't know, where yeah, Mother. Mataji, it's altogether different topic, Mataji. See, Mataji, in our society, for example, I don't want to get into that, but let me put it this way. Intercaste marriage, for example, are you as a couple can become Vaishnavas having a intercaste marriage and surrender to Lord? Mataji, again here, harsh truth is, lot of intercaste marriage or love marriages are starting with infatuations, Mataji. There might be exceptions. Leave about the exceptions.
I would like to add here, just by getting clarity on Varna,
yes,
not by birth, but by our actions.
Yes, Mother. Quality, yes.
So the same thing connecting to this chapter 1 of Varna Sankran.
Yes.
What Arjuna
Yes,
said.
yes.
So can I understand it this way that the priorities of these Varnas will be different? Like of Brahmana will be different, of Kshatriya will be different, Vaishya will be different. For example, Vaishya. So they are more into trade
Yes,
and
yes. Yes, ma'am.
getting money,
Yes.
that kind of work. So if both wife and husband are not having the same mind, similar, like-minded, then there will be a problem.
Yes.
Like Kshatriya. Both are not that warrior oriented, then there will be a problem.
Yes.
Can
That is one parameter, Mataji. That's one way of thinking. Yes, there is a possibility of pollution. When he talks about Varna Sankara, that is also right, wherein in each and every Varna also there is a pollution possibility is there. But he was more talking about different Varnas getting mixing. I mean, when women are there. These only, yeah. Yes.
We understand by birth only.
Yes. But Varnas are by the quality, Mataji.
So by quality when we are saying is the Varna, identified for each person. So in the intercaste marriages, it is that by their personalities.
Yes, that's what I was. That's what I was telling Mataji. If they are, if they are doing intercaste marriage, and it doesn't mean that actually Krishna has created these 4 Varnas, but each and every Varna there is a possibility of going back home, back to Godhead. Self-realization or scriptural knowledge was propagating for all the Varnas. It's not that this is a nepotism where only Brahmans should get self-realized and they only have to go back home, back to Godhead, and remaining Kshatriyas or Vaishyas or Shudras should not go. It's not that. Brahmana's main duty is to propagate the Brahma Gyan to everyone. So equal opportunity was there for all the Varnas. Now the intercaste marriage, what you are talking about, are they ready for that? Are they ready to serve the Lord? Are they ready to get self-realized and getting together for a common goal? How many of them are doing it, Mataji?
The problem up here is the term caste is totally misunderstood.
Yes, Mataji. Earlier there was no caste history itself. There are only 4 Varnas, and later this concept itself was.
Even Varnas for that matter. Like otherwise, if I am born as a Kshatriya, I should be at the front.
Yes.
Or at the police.
Yes.
Doing that. It is not so. So the term of Varna or caste is totally different from what we generally understand. So it is totally misunderstood all the time.
Yes,
because of that, a lot of confusion is.
Yes, it is misunderstood, and to tell you, Mataji, caste is something we have invented, Mataji. Earlier, these are not there. We have this. If you see the history, right? If you carefully read the histories and 3000 or whatever 2000, 3000 years, what are these castes? Major castes in Hindu, Chaudhary, Reddy.
No, even if we leave caste aside, because the Varna Sankara, what is that?
Yeah, Varna Shankara, Mataji.
Sankara.
Yeah.
That happens. That is what has been told by us.
Yes. Yes.
So taking that only, by talking about Varnas itself,
Yes.
that also we don't have clarity
Yes.
on that itself. So we get misguided.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
But what you are saying is it is not by birth, it is just by personalities of what we are, our actions, what we are doing. So then it brings some clarity.
That's right, Mataji. That's right. And even there is a possibility, Varna Shankara, when different Varnas, actually it's better to have alliance among the same Varna. Because even there is each and every family have their own lifestyle, Mataji. Their way of doing things might be different, but it's always advisable to have that alliance being in a same Varna. And when we are talking about Varna Shankara, there is a possibility that with the exploitative nature it might be there. Exploitative, because I don't want to name the one Mataji. She got raped and while she was unconscious, and she gave a birth to one kid, and that kid is somehow she is taking care of the kid, and it's always with that purity she can't bring up that kid, Mataji. It's not that kid fault is there or her fault is there, but the thing is always Varna Shankara, we are giving a scope for unwanted population, polluted population, which we are bringing demons to the world, Rakshasas to the world with the polluted population. Now you may ask, what is her fault? Why that if a fatherly figure would have been there in their family, that would not have taken place, because they are under protection. If there is no protection, Arjuna's only concern was there, if everyone is getting killed, in the family there won't be any fatherly figure, brotherly figure, and only ladies would be outcasted, and they might be misused or exploited by unknown people, and there is a possibility of unwanted population. When I am talking about unwanted population, there is a possibility of demons being born. What do you think, Mataji? With a bad consciousness, if we are bringing one soul to the, I don't want to name again, in ISKCON society, I think I already told you, Garbhadhan Samskar we do. Whenever a man and woman come together, they do 64 rounds of chanting before coming to the act of coming together. And they pray in the 64 rounds, means almost for 8 hours they pray, Krishna, please help us in bringing a good soul, pure soul to our family. And with that consciousness they come together. Okay, so yeah, so this, like this there are so Brahmins are expected to read the scriptures and give Brahmagnan and holy names, and how to chant, should not accept, and Brahmins are expected not to accept any salary, and only they were expected to accept only charity, not salaries. Kshatriyas are supposed to only accept tax. Vaishyas are the only community who are supposed to earn the money, and they were only having the right to earn the money and give it to all the 3 varnas to maintain the balance. And Shudras, they were helping all the other three varnas in supporting their activities. Okay, so like that Shudra was supposed to do, and Brahmin used to be in Sattva Guna, Kshatriya used to be in Rajo Guna, and Vaishyas used to be in Rajo and Tamo Guna, and Shudras used to be in Tamo Guna. And such was a system where despite them being in Tamoguna, there was always a scope for improvement or coming out of this chain. And Brahmanas used to give that knowledge. Tamoguna. Yes, working class. Mataji, it's a very, again, it's a harsh truth. Please take it in the right spirit. We all working in IT might be very offensive for so many of you, but we all are worse than Shudras, Mataji, including me. I am not including me. I am changing my company. I am working for TCS for almost 11 years. Next month I am joining a new company. In Manu Samhita, Shudra, one of the quality of Shudra is he never changes his employer. He never changes his employer. Shudra. Now talk about us. Luckily, of course, I can't boast that I have changed many. I think 3 companies. This will be my 4th company in my 20 years of job experience.
No, but
It's in the sense, why I am saying Tamoguna, they are generally tend to not have spiritual knowledge. They are more involved, relatively more involved in Tamoguna activities, non-veg, drinking, lazy, roaming with left and right. Whatever we do, they do.
But that's what working class work hard.
Work hard.
Day out their work. How is it?
Tamoguna, work hard in this material plane, material sadharma they are doing. What about the vertical sadharma? Are they taking care? They are no way. We have to push them. They rara babu, rara gudig rara naina, prasadam ayin teeskora babu. Because I am able to see that in my village, Mataji. Actually, when we were in kids, actually there is one kind of a caste. They always, whenever they come to our house, they used to sit only on the floor. I used to separate. Why, daddy, they are sitting on floor? They should sit on equality. Why equality is not there? You are treating them unequally. They should sit on the cot. Why are you not making them sit on cot? I used to ask my daddy when I was a small kid of say 3rd class or 4th class. So that I am able to correlate. But now itself is like that, means earlier how it used to be. So Varna, why they are called Tamoguna means spiritually we need to push them. They were not having a spiritual knowledge, and they were not even inclined for spiritual knowledge, gaining spiritual knowledge. For meager, for some money, they would work. They would do any kind of activity. Spiritually, when I say Tamoguna, they are ignorant from a spiritual point of view. Working, they will do hard work. We are also doing no. Without doing in IT company for 20 years, I can't sustain for 20 years in IT company, right? So we need to understand when we say ignorance, they are ignorant or they are not intended or inclined to move towards spiritual knowledge. But that thing is more towards the top is Brahmana. Kshatriya, they are also relatively get inclined. Vaishyas also they can, but Shudra generally we need to push them. In that sense we are talking. Okay, so Krishna created all these 4 in this Vedas, in case these people in these 4 varnas, one doing his duties in detached mood. And here, when we say in detached mood, we need to understand that Brahmanas, see, now we can't compare those varnas with the current, in the current society, because everything has gone left and right, gone for a toss. I have worked with my colleagues, one lady who is a Brahmana, She is eating some chicken and she is telling me, Mahesh, this one is very good, you taste it. What I can expect? So the thing is, things are the same thing. We should always, when I say we should do work in a detached mood, it is similar to the act of what I quoted last time. Hanuman, who are you? I am Lord's servant. What are you doing? I am doing Lord's job. How you do? I will do with full concentration, full dedication. I will do such that I am able to impress my Lord. And why you do? It is for my purification, and it is for impressing the Lord, for satisfying the Lord's senses. Hrishikena Hrishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. Only for satisfying the senses of the Lord you do. How I will know that the Lord is satisfied or not? Will you not know what things you do your mother would be liking? You will know, right? What are they? You like you know it or not? Whatever your father or mother likes, you know it or not? Will you ask that what you like, Daddy? Tell me, I will do that. No, right?
There is a feedback for that.
Yeah.
Once we have done that, then we see the feedback from father or mother. They are happy.
Yes.
So we know we have that data. But with God, how do we?
Chant, Mataji. Chant.
That is one way only.
No. Chant, Mataji. Yeah, that's right. You will also know, I am saying. You will also know, chant. Chant, you will perfectly know, Mataji. I challenge. You do chanting 16 rounds per day, you will know whether I am satisfying the senses of the Lord or not. I used to also think it's not, because we are applying our material knowledge, CBSE, ICSE, PhD, MBA we apply, no? When pura kichdi okay na, we always think from a material plane only. We don't know why Mataji, sages, gurus, acharyas, great acharyas, they have not simply vaguely told chant. When you count rupees, full concentration will be there, right? Your mind will not go anywhere, right? 1 lakh cash is there, you will count with full concentration. That day when you do chanting with that full concentration, that realization you will get, Mataji. No doubt about it. There is no external feedback is required. Paramatma is there in each and every one. No doubt. Okay. So that's what. Brahmana accept charity, so Kshatriya accept tax, already we mentioned. So always all ladies are mothers except for your wife. That's the Vedic culture. Now this Women's Day and all these things have come just decade or 2 decades ago. But our Vedic culture was always a Women's Day. Even when I was a kid, my grandpa used to call my grandmother and ask him to walk in front of me when I am going for any work. He used to, I don't know what we call in English, Tamalpakulu. You know Tamalpakulu? What is in English? Beetle leaves, yeah, beetle leaves. He used to go and sell beetle leaves, mangoes and all. So he used to call my grandma and ask her to come in front. I said that it used to be called as a good omen, good sign for him to get good business. So every day was a Women's Day in the Sanatana Dharma, in a Vedic lifestyle. Now this as if Women's Day only one day, it's not right stuff. So women are supposed to be all women were Matajis except for your wife. All, even for kid. Even in our society, even if a kid is some 4 to 5 years old also, we are not supposed to touch the girl child. Okay. So post fully purification, accept the renounced order. After renounced order, be liberated. So without proper purification, we should not renounce. That's what the point is. Without proper purification, we should not renounce. So Arjuna was saying, even if you try to beg, Arjuna, it's better to begging instead of killing. So Krishna said, even if you go for begging, one point or the other, surely your sword will come one day. Even there also will manage. Okay, begging, this area mine, this area mine, this begging mine. You will show Kshatriya qualities there. It's a matter of time. That's it. So that's what Krishna was saying, you can't hide your original character simply like that. So, so mind is like a microprocessor. Mind is like a microprocessor and limbs are like, servo motor items. So whatever you process, that will come out. So that's what is being talked about. So one moment, also we can't, even for one moment also we can't be inactive. Our soul nature is such. Even Bhagavadgita it is mentioned. Our soul nature is, it can't be inactive. Even when we sleep, our soul always wake. It will be, actually I kept alarm at around 3 p.m. Yesterday at 3 a.m. Yesterday at 3 a.m. Alarm kept. I woke up at 2:56. Yesterday we went to temple. So 3 o'clock I put the alarm, but I woke up at 2:56. Soul can't be inactive. We need to understand that. If I perform action and then next question what he asks is, if I perform action, will I not bound up? Will I not bound up? Are you getting what does it mean? If I do any action, will I not bind with the results of it? I am killing, so he died. Will that sin not occur to me? Two kids are playing. One kid, I don't know, somehow he has slapped another kid. Will he not get the sin of hitting him? So for that action, will that whatever the action I am performing, will that not bind me? Will that not bind me? So that means, the same thing, the reaction of killing, mere ko sin aa jayega, I will get sins. So like that, if you are doing this, now the Krishna says the same thing. If you are doing the same thing for me, you will not incur. You will not be bound by the activities. You will not be bound with the activities. Now you can quote, cigarette smoking is there. I will put cigarette, I will offer it to Krishna and drink. Do you think Krishna is a innocent kid? Doesn't he know what is right and what is wrong? In fact, we also know that what is right and what is wrong. Even a smoker who drinks or who smokes, he also knows that it is injurious to health, but he still drinks. But does Krishna want it? Krishna is giving value to your free will, that you want to drink, you want to smoke, you are smoking. He is allowing his upadrishta anumantacha. He is sanctioning. Don't be in an impression that whatever Krishna sanctions, he likes it. No. I repeat, whatever Krishna sanctions, it doesn't mean that he likes it. He is giving value to us, your free will. Boy and girl love each other in college days, and one boy is trying to woo a girl, and he tied up the girl and is asking her, you love me? Will she love? Annu preminchu, nanne preminchu. Will she love? So Krishna is very possessive lover. He wants voluntarily to love him. He doesn't want anyone to. He doesn't want to force anyone to love him. Okay. So if one does all his activities for Krishna, either it is study Krishna, please. मेरे को अच्छे मार्क्स से मेरे को अच्छा बुद्धि दे ताकि मैं अच्छा पढ़ सकूं and I can be part of your plans. I am doing job, Krishna, please sustain my job such that I am able to serve my kids who are given by you, and I am able to help you in your future services. With that consciousness we need to do the job, Prabhujis and Matajis. Not with the consciousness that, okay, yeah, I am doing this job, I will purchase that flat, I will purchase that car, my wife will be impressed. I will take my kid to Paris, he will be impressed, he will boast of me, मेरे डैडी मुझे पेरिस लेके गए. No, we need to externally. I think one video I posted last week, when Mataji was singing and dancing. How many of you have seen that video? Anjaneya Swami. So materially, if we see that video, externally what people will say? They will say, she is dancing. We also dance in pub, right? She is dancing, and for some tune, ale, we do. She is saying Hanuman. She is materially, that is one way of looking at it. But despite that age, how actively she was dancing, she is in other plane. When you are doing service in the name of Lord, she is in transcendental plane. That's it, Fasak. Prabhuji and Mataji is not something a vague act, it's a spiritual activity. People in our earlier generations, they use it was very God-centric activity. Now, unfortunately, the very unfortunate situation is our own people are becoming, in the name of secularism, they are bringing all this nonsense stuff. We never propagated one religion. We never said that this religion is bad. Whatever the Bhagavad Gita knowledge is there, it is applicable for each and every religion. It is for the entire humanity. Whatever the Vedas, Ayurveda and everything is applicable for entire humanity. Go today to Ayurveda doctor in Koti, one of the important, I don't know, I forgot his name, he's in Koti. In this Ayurvedic clinic, all the religion, Christians, Muslim people, Hindus, everyone come. Whatever the knowledge Krishna or the Vedas have provided, it is applicable to entire humanity, not for Hindus alone. But people have created a wrong notion, Bhagavad Gita, a Hindu scripture. We need to understand that. Okay? So now the same point, Nishkama Karma Yoga is better. Premature renunciation. If you do renunciation prematurely, without purification and without self-realization, you are supposed to get again bound. The same thing is happening. Premature renouncing, unnecessarily doing all these acts, we have lost the faith in Kashaya Vastra. Kashaya Vastra wearing and doing all this bhang drinking and all this smoking and all, people have lost the faith in this Kashaya Vastra at all. That is wrong. It is not Sampradaya. So that is the reason renouncing is good only after the purification is done and self-realization, knowledge is awakened. Then only renouncing is allowed. Not by simply getting away, shying away from our responsibilities. Okay? Now, so do your prescribed duty, it is better, and by performing actions you may become bound up by those activities and work for Vishnu and avoid bondage. That's what he was talking about. Any questions till now? We are going to the second lesson, that is rungs on yoga ladder. Yeah, Mataji. Purification. I think you came late, Mataji. So, purification is anything, Mataji, which provides resistance to you, but still you are able to sustain in spiritual life. For example, we might be having so many situations. I am working, and luckily I have a good, everyone around, especially my superiors, they are good. But there might be some employees who are, boss बहुत गंदा है. मैं इतना काम करता हूँ, पूरा काम मैं करता हूँ. I will do the entire work, but the credit he takes. That's a purification. I have given an example. I don't know whether you are there or not. One husband and wife. One example I have given, wherein I don't know whether you heard or not. Wife is so much demanding. But husband, despite so much demanding and despite the society and neighbors around him telling you are a Joruba Gulam, you are not able to control your wife. His parents say, Kungu chadu dagunna manishivi, what kind of a man you are? You are listening to your wife. It is especially in India, it's a very abusive statement, But still, he told that, Prabhuji, I wanted to make this relationship work. Let the people do anything. That is a purification. The ultimate purification is going, Mataji. He is surely going through that purification. Again, there are always special, exceptions would be there, but we need to understand the relation should work. Believe me, I have seen people who, after gaining the spiritual knowledge, they understood what it is and they are making their relation. I have given an example of another Prabhuji and Mataji, where there are only two common parameters is traveling outside and eating common food. That these are the only two things which are common to both of them, and rest all, their parents don't like her. Her parents don't like him. They are Brahmanas and he is from a Shudra caste, and they did love marriage, and both their in-laws hate each opposite people, and they are making their relationship work because they gained this knowledge and they are making their relationship work. Purification, Mataji, and believe me, and this it's not only about this relation, even with our kids, husband, in-laws, even with our parents, father and son, they will be having fight. For some, whatever the reason may be. But when you are able to sustain that relationship without breaking, that is purification, Mataji. You are not, because if you are not going through this purification process and you are going to resist and act opposite, you are again incurring sins. At least you are stopping that. Once you gain this knowledge, in that purification process, after gaining this knowledge, if I retaliate for it, unnecessarily my negative karma balance is increasing. Again, the same thing you need to go through in your next life. Purification applies to any relation, Mataji. Any relation, student-teacher relationship, boss, associate relationship. Father son, father daughter-in-law. Believe me, I've seen a lot of examples like that, but in a case to case we can discuss offline if you want. But purification means we need to make it work, Mataji, make it work. And there are possibilities where there were enemies and they came into the spiritual path and took the shelter of Guru and Krishna, and they have served that opposite person like anything, and after seeing that service they got fida. And they got to a situation, whatever she was telling, he is ready to accept. You need to have faith in Guru and Krishna. I don't know if I answered you. Yeah. Okay. So this is about, now we are going to this rungs on yoga ladder, where by Nishkama Karma Yoga, it is easy. Generally in Nishkama Karma Yoga, it is easy for purification. Anyway, let me come one by one. In this rungs of ladder, you are seeing Karma Kanda, Karma Yoga, Gnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. What are they? Anyone? Any questions? Any answers? What is Karma Kanda? What is Karma Yoga? What is Gnana Yoga? What is Bhakti Yoga? What is Karma Kanda? Let us start with Karma Kanda. Any guesses? Yeah. Then what is Karma Yoga? Karma Kanda means anything you perform, or anything you perform yagna, or any transaction you do with demigods for your personal benefit. मेरे को बच्चे नहीं हैं, पुत्र कामेष्टि पुत्र यज्ञ करना है, then I need to depend on some demigod. So you are taking the shelter of other demigods for your personal opulence. Farmer depends on Indra for showering, sorry, not Indra, Varun Dev, rains, yeah, for Indra, yeah, right, Indra for showering rains for his crop. That's also material benefit. If you are taking shelter of any demigods for your personal benefit, is karma kanda. Anyway, atheist is, without regulation, atheist does lot of things. Atheist is a completely different category. Karma kanda means performing rituals by taking the shelter of demigods, not Vishnu, not Krishna, demigods, for their personal opulence or personal materialistic benefits. Then it is called karma kanda. Okay. So for you, for doing these yagnas, they offer rice, ghee, silk, milk, etc. in yagna. A materialistic person, when he sees, he might be saying, what is this waste of unnecessary waste of rice, unnecessary waste of milk, ghee and all? They might say. Yes or no? Lot of people are there. There are very popular heroes and heroines. They say, if I come to power, I will not build temples, I will build hospitals. And I don't want to name the hero, by the way, but not build the temples, but I will build hospitals. How many of you believe hospitals building is better than temples? Good, I got a good audience. Okay, so but the thing is, we need to understand Yagna Kunda is nothing but, scriptures say Yagna Kunda is nothing but Vishnu himself, Krishna himself, and the fire coming out of it is called the tongue of Krishna, tongue of Vishnu. Have you heard this? Yeah, it is there in scriptures. So what is the use of doing yagna? When we perform yagna, the gods accept the gods, or what are the clouds accept the Vishnu accepts the fire, or the what are the offerings were done in yagna, Vishnu offers, and and clouds also accept, the demigods also accept. And how come the rains are coming? Have you ever understood how the rains are coming? Clouds, which is non-living entity, wind is a non-living entity, ocean is a non-living entity, but all are one salty water from ocean is taken by winds and over to the clouds, and from clouds it goes to another place, and from that clouds it filters using PVT, it filters all the salt and gives a pure water. Don't you see the hand of a God here? Is it something illogical I am talking? Anyone is feeling that it is illogical? How come salt water from oceans are taken and gone to clouds, and without tons, not even liters or 10 liters, tons, gallons of water, and moving the cloud to other location, and wherever it is not, it is, rain is not there, there it is giving rain. Is it not a logical thing? Or I am sounding illogical? No, Prabhu, it is, this photosynthesis happens, this thing. Are you not seeing God's hand here? So we need to understand that this yajnas and all happens for the pleasure of Vishnu and the respective God, and it is something. One more example what we can quote is, especially for the materialist, if a doctor, one boy is having injury and he gives a tablet. After tablet, the boy asks, you have the tablet. Then boy asks the doctor, why this tablet? The injury is here, right? The injury is here. We should powder the tablet and apply it here. No? Why to it? No, is it logical question or not? పాప దాక్కుంటుంది ఎక్కడ ఎప్పుడు ఈయన ఎప్పుడు నన్ను పట్టుకుంటాడా? వై వెన్ ఐ విల్ క్యాచ్ యూ? డోంట్ వరీ, ఐ విల్ నాట్ క్యాచ్ యూ టుడే. Okay, so it is similar to that, the materialistic thinking is that, but yajnas are having that much power. You need to understand, when we offer anything with full faith, it will happen. Okay, so this yajna attracts the clouds. This yajna attracts the clouds. Rains come, crops grow, and grains are eaten by humans, and that is transformed into semen, and man begets children. And the cycle continues. So we need to understand that. So now, coming to types of karma, we already have gone through this types of karma last time. I don't want to spend much time here. Vikarma, breaking laws of God. Karma, good work on material platform that brings good reactions. Akarma, most of the people in Indian society, they know only two accounts: good karma, bad karma. Antenantara kada? Only manaku telusu, for each and every action we are having good karma or bad karma. That's it. There is no other karma. There is no third account. That's what general people know. But we need to understand, as per scriptures, there is another account called akarma. Any activity which we do by keeping Krishna in center is called akarma. Whatever the 2 to 2.5 hours we are spending listening the glories of Krishna or the knowledge of Krishna or Brahma Gyan is going to everyone's akarma balance. And akarma balance never decreases. It stays either stable or increases. But other good karma and vikarma, it increases, decreases. Once it increases, to burn that balance, you have to take hellish planets, go to hellish planets or heavenly planets. Or similarly, good karma, you have to go to heavenly planets, complete the account and come back to Bhuloka. कोई विश्वास नहीं कर रहा है क्या? Do you believe it or not? Yes or no? Because I am telling you how to say yes. నమ్ముతున్నారా లేదా? కన్విక్షన్ ఉందా లేదా? లేదు. Great acharyas, they have done enough research, Prabhuji and Mataji. There is no need for us to do. Ramanujacharya varu, Madhvacharya varu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and all this lineage, what of the acharyas were there in disciplinic succession. Srila Prabhupada, they have taken lot of austerities to propagate the spiritual knowledge. What is the probability of a 70-year-old person going to US from India without a penny? I think 20 rupees, I believe. $20 or 20 rupees, I believe. Can sustain in US and build 108 temples across the world. What is the probability? Above 70 years, 70, not 17, 70. What is the probability? ఇది కూడా నమ్మసక్యంగా లేదా? నిజంగా జరిగిందండి. ఇది నాట్ ఏ కల్పితం కాదు. ఇది ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఏ ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ స్టోరీ వాట్ ఐమ్ సెయింగ్. ఇట్ ఈస్ ద స్టోరీ ఆఫ్ శ్రీలా ప్రభుపాద్, who at the age of almost 70 years left the Indian Bharatavarsha, going to US, spending time to propagate the knowledge of God. 70 ఏళ్లలో మనం ఎలా ఉంటాం? What if in the society what we will see? The people, you might have observed, no offense intended, but 17 years in our community, when we see 70 or 75 years old someone, if you see what they talk about, చల్లాపూర్లో ప్రాపర్లీ పెరిగినంత మా వాళ్ళకి కావాలి. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? ప్రాపర్టీస్, ఈజ్ ఇట్ ద వన్ వాట్ దే హ్యావ్ టు కాన్సన్ట్రేట్? No, right? Yeah. So all this, mentioned vikarma, these are the types of karmas, and whatever, even I'll come. It's not it. This, I only talked about only karma kanda right now. Till karma kanda I mentioned, right? That types of karma. Karma kanda is over. Karma kanda is any ritual you do for material benefits with the help of demigods. Vishnu is not in picture here. Krishna is not in picture here. Okay. And for coming to the 5 practical tips also, we can talk about, like that. Even if we talk about so great acharyas like Adi Shankaracharya, they are also mentioned, పునరపి జననం, పునరపి మరణం, జఠరే శయనం. సో వాళ్ళు ఊరికనే అవ్వలేదమ్మా. ఇంత పెద్ద పెద్ద ఆచార్యులు వారు, వాట్ ఆర్ ద నాలెడ్జ్ దే ఆర్ ప్రాపగేటింగ్, దే సింప్లీ మన సిబిఎస్ఈ, ఎంఎస్, ఐసిఎస్ఈ సిలబస్ నాలెడ్జ్ ఇట్స్ నాట్ అప్లికబుల్. They are empowered souls who did the necessary research and all. I don't want to dig into a separate what is Vedic life, what Aryabhatta, all these things. World is globe, we have found out just 500 or 600 years back, I believe. But world is goal, they have mentioned. I don't want to get into that. But we need to understand or have a faith in the scriptures or the knowledge provided by great acharyas. Okay. So how to rise above these and come to gnana stage and introspect and try to peaceful. In some people, once they go to gnana stage, they gain knowledge and try to be peaceful. Okay. And they prefer to be peaceful and they wanted to be in Brahmajyoti. Do you know what Brahmajyoti is? What is Brahmajyoti? What is Brahmajyoti? Huh? Who is that? Chapana. Knowing self. Okay, that's a different definition. Akkada Brahman meaning ante, one meaning is Brahman means self, knowing self. Kani Brahmajyoti is the effulgence which is coming out of Lord Vishnu. Effulgence. Ade dan Telugulo emantarabba? Effulgence. You know, right? Effulgence means, so some people after getting knowledge, they try to be staying peacefully. Hammaya, we got liberation and we stay in Brahmajyoti. But being in Brahmajyoti is not also the ultimate goal, because being in Brahmajyoti, staying calm at a single place is not the nature of a soul. At some point or the other, the soul which is there in Brahmajyoti again will fall down. And you might have seen so many people in your community or society where they are very active, they never get tired, because that kind of souls are falling from Brahmajyoti. Because for a long time they will be calm in a single location, Brahmajyoti. But at one point or the other, again they will be coming down, because they will be craving for activity. Because for a long time they have been inactive in Brahmajyoti, but at once they come, they try to be very active. Yesterday I was quoting my Shiksha Guru. My Shiksha Guru's father is having a issue wherein he is not able to breathe properly. All the eating is happening through nose or through neck. There are 2 pipes inserted. So there is some issue with my Shiksha Guru's father. So luckily they performed a surgery, and he was not able to talk for the last 8 months. So he got a surgery recently done. He stays in my home, Krishi only. And after the surgery, now he is talking. So I was telling him, let he speak. Whatever the pending is there for last 8 months, let he speak now. So what I told, I don't know. Now Prabhuji told me, what you told, Prabhu? He is non-stop talking for night also. People are not having sleep in their house. So like that, the people who stay in Brahmajyoti, after staying for such a long time, once they fall down, they will be doing lot of activity. Okay. So like that, scriptures say Brahmajyoti is a metastable stage, and they will eventually fall down and come down. Okay. So yeah. So this is about. Let me come to a practical tips. 5 tips. There are a lot of people who say working.
You mentioned non-action.
What is? Where is it, Master? Akarma? A non-action. Suffers no reaction or non-action. Means the thing is, here the non-action means it won't incur any reactions. When we do any activity by keeping Krishna in center, that becomes a karma act. Prabhuji, I am a developer. I'm a Java developer. How I can deploy my talent in akarma activity? You develop a app for temples to track the devotees. How many devotees are coming? How many devotees are going? So each and every, whatever the skills each and every living entity has, can be deployed in Krishna service. That is possible. Every service, every talent, anyone. Mataji is good in cooking. Do cooking for Krishna and offer it to Krishna and have the prasadam. I am good at playing. I think I already given man of examples. Anyone has any doubt? Like, Prabhuji, I am good at this thing. How I can deploy it in akarma, God related activity? Any questions? Okay. So now, this is now coming to the practical tips of 5 tips to make our work worship. How? So there are some 5 tips we are having. What are the 5 tips? So a lot of people say, right, work is worship. But we can make work worship. How? How is? So already we mentioned about this art of performing holy work. Never consider yourself, you have right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of those activities. Never be attached to not doing your duty. Here he is talking about the process and fruits. I hope we are clear. Never be attached to any of them. Any of it. Because unnecessarily if you are attaching, it will be binding you and it will be getting attached to the result rather than getting attached to the Lord. So that's what Krishna is saying. So coming to tip 1. Tip 1 is you have right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. So lesson 1 is, again the first tip is, thank God and offer your fruits to God. Everything is owned and controlled by God. Thank Him by offering the results of your work to God. I hope I am clear with this. Any questions? We should thank, Prabhujis and Matajis, we should thank God in each and every moment of our life. I don't know, people are not able to realize mostly, our parents. Without God, you would not. Ask the person who is another or an orphan the value of parents. Value of parents, ask a another or an orphan who is not having parents. He will be knowing actually the pain of not having parents. We are having parents, so we are taking it for granted. Whatever I do, my parents will do. Whatever I ask, my parents will give. Ask the value of parents from an orphan. Another value. Value. బాగా మనకు ఫ్రీగా వాటర్ దొరుకుతుంది. we are thirsty, we get drink. In desert, keep a person for 1 week. He will know the value of water. Like that, in and around across us, there are lot of things which we can appreciate. Milk, vegetables, fruits. From where we are getting? Aham bija prajapita. For each and every species, I am the seed giving father. That Krishna says. If you see the root, do you agree or not? Any questions? No, Prabhu. Scientists say that by this reaction, this chemical mixing, this plant comes. Is it right or wrong? Who is the root? Do everyone agree the root is Krishna? Since he is talking about Krishna, that's why Krishna. No, wholeheartedly you have to accept Prabhuji's Mataji. In and around such a community, I am very privileged, sometimes I really thank Krishna for having such a community, or the committee members in Vihanga, where they are relatively good God conscious people, where they are allowing people to discuss about Bhagavadgita or God conscious, God related topics. How many people, how many societies they accept? They will not. You see, go to some, I don't want to name the communities. They secular, why you are doing this, they hinder, I have personally seen. Okay, so that is the first tip. Now, what is our quota that we should not exceed? You might have got this question, right? What is our quota that we should not exceed? What is our quota that we should not exceed? So, we should have a clear demarcation between necessity and luxury. Necessity ni Telugulo avasaram. Avasaraniki and luxury. Vilasam. Vilasam kada? Okay. Yeah, whatever. So you got the point, right? Necessity and luxury. So we should clearly demarcate between necessity and luxury, and we should really introspect ourselves whether it is a luxury for us or a necessity for us. There's so many actually these days no, society themselves they are having a very peer pressure. My kid is learning guitar. So automatically pressure increases in other families. Oh, their kid is learning guitar. So my kid also something I have to engage. Yes or no? Have you come across this? As if you are not learning guitar, your kid is waste. That kind of a picture they go. My kid is learning karate, my little kid is learning guitar. With the unnecessary pressure inside. My mom will be bringing to family and she will be saying to Prabhuji, their family, they are guitar and karate. As if they are not teaching anything to the kid, he is waste. Yes or no? Have you come across something like that or not? I am not saying it's wrong. Okay, don't get me wrong here. Okay, we are also teaching our kids Mridanga and Kartal. Every Sunday 3 p.m. we are in a class learning, not only kids, even elders also, we are learning Kartal and Mridangam. Nothing wrong, but we need to understand necessity and luxury. Okay. Similarly, car, building, how much is needed, we can have it. So we need to understand food, vegetarian, food offered to God, not non-veg or unauthorized food or not overeat. That is our quota. Property, not encroach upon others' property, knowing that everything belongs to God. Nothing wrong in getting a new property, but understand that we should know whatever is needed and we should not encroach others' properties. Yes, Mataji. Unauthorized food, Mataji. Unauthorized food means which is not as per scriptural injunctions, like non-veg. Non-veg is covered, and if you are not vegetarian food offered to God, not non-vegetarian and not unauthorized food means there are onions, garlic, and which we not, sometimes we eat food which are not offered also. Sometimes we eat non-offered food. Even we make vegetarian food which is not offered to God is also a sin. Vegetarian food offered to God. Not non-vegetarian or vegetarian food. No, here the two different things are there. Vegetarian food offered to God, we should eat. Next one is not non-vegetarian means vegetarian itself which is not offered. Not non-vegetarian means vegetarian only. Vegetarian or unauthorized food means not offered food. Generally, whenever we offer food to Lord, onion, garlic we will never include. You observe in any temples. Any food which is they mixed with onion and garlic, it is not offered to God. If you see any temple, any authorized temples, even in our Bhakta Prahalada Varada Lakshmi Narasimha Swami temple also, there won't be any food with onion and garlic. That is not non-vegetarian or unauthorized food. And not overeat any food, not even prasadam also. Sometimes I don't want to quote, even with a prasadam excuse. For example, I like tomato chutney very much, and I will instigate, I will inspire Matajis, you don't know, Krishna likes tomato chutney very much. Without onion garlic, you prepare. With Krishna's excuse, we will eat left and right. That's why the overeating is also not good. Either it is prasadam or non-prasadam. Actually, non-prasadam is not at all prescribed at all. Even prasadam also, overeating is not good. That's what it means. Clear? Yeah. So property, you can have property, but don't others' property, knowing that everything belongs to God, don't encroach. Some people are having, some people, they are actually materially very, I am coming across some people who are materially well situated, like material opulence is very good, their family are financially well situated, but still they are having one kind of habit of taking property. They are not illegally taking someone's property, they are not encroaching, but they are having a hobby of having more and more properties. But rather than spending that time, they can leverage that time in good time, spiritual topics. Wealthy, nothing wrong in becoming wealthy. Honorably earn wealth, a portion of which is offered to the Lord's service. Wealth can be materially or even knowledge. Knowledge is also a wealth. Even knowledge you can apply in Krishna's service. Anyway, when we are talking about wealth, it's not only money. If you are having money, give some portion to the Lord's service. If you are having money, if you are having knowledge, apply that knowledge in propagating the knowledge of God. Invite people. Actually, we sometimes I go to ISKCON habits to give sessions. Sometimes I go to colleges. Recently I went to Kukatpalli JNTU college also. I was taking a session of power of habits, because in colleges I can't say Krishna, I can't say Bhakti and all. So we subtly try to do. Don't tell outside. The power of habits, I will take a practical examples, and somewhere we try to indulge mind, intelligence, ego. So that topics we include. Especially we target freshers, first year students, because first year students is the stage wherein they are prone to go positive direction or negative direction, because till intermediate they will be under the parents' protection or security. In the first year, easily I have seen kids in first year till 12th class he was a topper. BTech first year itself he gets into bad habits. Yeah. Okay. So work that is not related to religious. Any work, it is Allah mentioned. Okay, I think we are nearing. Okay. Work. We should not work in any anything related to religious principles, such as meat eating, gambling, intoxication, illicit sex. There are so many organizations which promote this. I don't want to get into the nitty-gritties of this, but you need to understand that there are so many organizations which are promoting this. Okay, so endeavor that is not done out of greed. We need to always attempt, we need to endeavor to gain wealth, but not with a intention of greed for wealth or honor, but in divine consciousness. We need to have a divine consciousness and earn wealth. Actually, Lal Chandani ji, one of the good businessmen in Hyderabad, he takes care of, his name is Lal Chandani ji, remember it? Lal Chandani ji, yeah. So he donates to ISKCON habits. The property or the building, most of the properties of ISKCON were built. Lalwani ji, I'm sorry. Lalwani ji, I don't forget his Lalwani ji and family. They undertake most of the temple building here in Hyderabad, ISKCON related. So they are good businessmen. They give certain chunk of property to temple. Okay, spouse. Marriage is nothing wrong. We need to marry. We are, it is not prohibited. Marriage is not prohibited. We have to marry, and marry as per religious principles and not maintaining some illicit relationships. That is wrong. Illicit relationship is wrong. Next, our quota. Next one is residence, that is God-centered, not too greedy to increase prestige by one's possessions of bungalows or vast tracts of land. So there are some devotees. We are having a lot of devotees in our community where they are having a 3-bedroom flat, but when you enter their home, the temple itself, their puja gadi would be a very big one. I mean, as if it is a temple, it will be. So we should aim for building a house where the temple room should be opulent. Other houses are opulent or not, but temple room should look opulent. It should attract people. Arey, temple chala baagunde. We deities are looking very good, very nice. Position or post. Remembering that is offered by God. Position and post. Nothing wrong in taking. Be a committee president. Be a committee treasurer. Try to propagate knowledge of God. See, our committee members have accepted gleefully to conduct the sessions here. Somehow. So good that we got God conscious committee members. But other communities are not like that. Nothing wrong in accepting the positions, remembering that it is offered by God, thus using it to serve others in the mood of a servant of a God, and not indulge in politicking for increasing influence and power, and followers for self-aggrandizement. Domination. We should never encourage in domination, not indulge in animal slaughter, abortions, etc. No. Abortion, Prabhuji, the soul is not yet born, no, so nothing wrong. Do you feel abortion means life is not lost? Life is lost and you will have the sin for that. No doubt about that. Some people argue, abortion, when the birth na yuvana, so it's not. I have personally seen families who have aborted and Mataji suffering with vaginal issues. When materially if you think, they might quote lot of material, medical statements, medical terminologies and all. But we need to understand, abortion is a is against the scriptural injunctions. Sleeping 6 hours sleep to be healthy enough to serve God, not oversleep unnecessarily. So we should not sleep. And I think, I don't know whether I given this tip to everyone or not. Most of them might be knowing. Between 8 to 12 p.m. 8 p.m. to 12 midnight is the good time. Whatever the sleep you sleep between 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. is equivalent to 1 hour of sleep is equal to 2 hours of sleep. 1 hour of sleep is equal to 2 hours of sleep if you are sleeping between 8 p.m. to 12 midnight. 12 midnight to 3 p.m. 1 hour of sleep is equal to 1.5 hours of sleep. 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. 1 hour of sleep is equal to 1 hour of sleep. And after 6 a.m. whatever the sleep you are doing, 1 hour of sleep is equal to minus 1.5 hours of sleep. Because literally you are killing your body. Shastras have explained this. And this message is applicable for all the humanity. Your auto wala, your friendly auto wala, you can say, "Ore babu, nu niddar povalante 8 p.m. to 12 midnight lopala padukora, dani tarvata nu pandaga chesko" ani cheppochu. How many of you know this before this session? 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. 1 hour of sleep is equal to 2 hours of sleep. How many of you know? How many of you don't know before this session? Yes. This is important. You experimented. I personally experimented. When I was in Stockholm, luckily, I should not say luckily, my family was not there for some time. So I was alone, I was experimenting on myself. 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. If you are sleeping for those 4 hours and wake up at 12 a.m., you will be fresh. Fresh. Okay. So recreation. Accept that which is favorable to Krishna consciousness. Avoid cinema magazines, unholy movies, etc. Okay. So sports, to keep body healthy in service to God and not for attracting opposite sex or spend time idly. Today these days, no movies, they are promoting all these things. Hero will go to hero will go to temple, and in temple he will attract heroine. That has become a fashion, Even these days that has become a fashion. I don't know what kind of a sin they are incurring. We can't imagine. What kind of births they are going to take, we can't imagine, Prabhujis and Madajis. Believe me. The people who are spoiling the society as a whole, they are going to have a grave consequences. Okay? So no one can manufacture anything, all eatables including grains, fruits, vegetables, everything is supplied by God only. So we need to understand that. Heat, sunlight, moon. Okay? Now tip 2. Tip 2 is, never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities. Never. Farmer and God. Everything is not in our hands. We can endeavor, but God has to give the results. So do your best and let Lord do the rest. There might be situations in your life where you can say that I did my duty to the best. To the best, and you got a positive results. Then, Krishna, you are there, Krishna. You are there. I know you are there. If something negative happens, can you take with the same spirit? Are we in a situation to take that in the same spirit? Basic foundation, understand, Prabhujis and Madajis, it is Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. Bhakta Ragoswami Maharaj, one of the spiritual masters in our society, he has, in saving the Krishna deities, while saving the Krishna deities from the dacoits, he lost his leg, amputated his leg. Now tell me, will you be in a situation to accept Krishna is as the supreme if the same thing has happened to you? Body and soul he has submitted to Krishna. Bhakta Raghaswami Maharaj. We are having such a great acharyas in our lineage who have served heart and soul. Okay, so everything is not in our hands. We can endeavor, but God has to do the results. So do your best and let Lord do the rest. Give your 100%. We should not have the regret that I didn't give 100%. Later feeling. Okay, so never consider yourself. So Arjuna, you give your whatever the interview is there, you have to give your interview to the best. So you need to understand. So Highlight, okay. So do your best and leave the rest. We are not in the control of the things in the world. God is in the control, who helps our body to grow in mother's womb, who replaced our milk teeth by strong ones without making them all fall at the same time, but one by one. Are you not seeing God's hand here? Do you see it's a medical thing? Naturally process happen. Please tell me frankly. Not seeing God hand, right? The day you will have that conviction, Mataji, you will be going to that level of Nishkama Karma. Believe me.
You can explain.
Yeah, Prabhu.
You can explain.
What I am saying is, are you not seeing God's hand? Even one teeth falls. మనకు ఏంటి దాన్ని ఏమంటారు తెలుగులో పాల పళ్ళ ముందు పోతాయి, ముందు పళ్ళు పోతాయి, దాంతో గట్టి పళ్ళు వస్తాయి, ఒక్కొక్క పన్ను పోతుంది కదా, అది ఎవరు చేస్తున్నారు అంటున్నాను. కృష్ణుడు మాయే, కృష్ణుడు ఈ ఇంటర్వెన్షన్ లేకుండా ఏం జరగదని చెప్తున్నాను. సో వీఆర్ నాట్ ఇన్ కంట్రోల్. టైనీ వైరస్ కరోనా సైంటిస్టులు డాక్టర్లు అందరినీ అల్లాడిచ్చింది. లాట్ ఆఫ్ డివోటీ ఫ్యామిలీస్ ఆల్సో దే హ్యావ్ లాస్ట్ దేర్ నియర్ వన్స్. So we are understanding, Prabhuji Mataji, we are not having control. Great scientists have చేతులు ఎత్తేసారు అంతే, literally. I think this is the first time I was asking my dad actually when Corona attacked, have you ever seen a situation where 10th class exams have postponed? Unlucky or luckily, my girl is Corona batch. She didn't write 10th class exams. She is feeling happy, hurray, I didn't write. So tiny virus which whom we can't see has created havoc and we are not in control. See, but Krishna is in control. Krishna is in control. So we need to understand that Krishna is in control. So God is supremely independent and is never controlled. Can anyone say I am not controlled, I am independent, I am God? Can anyone say I am controlled, I am independent? No, right? Yeah. So the third tip is goal of life, to act according to God and gain freedom from suffering and to return to spiritual world. So that is the tip 2. So good news. So there is a pilot who is in whose plane you are traveling, and the pilot gives a good news saying that we are traveling at an altitude of 3000 kilometers and there are no jerks in the plane, and the plane is having a good AC facility and all. That's a good news. Yes or no? Yes or no? Now the bad news is we don't know where the destination we are going. How will you feel? Tell me. So our situation is like that. Our good news is, hey, hooray, I got my promotion. Hooray, I won this match. Hooray, my kid first rank. మా వాడు కలెక్టర్ అయ్యాడండి, హుర్రే. వాట్ ఇస్ ద యూజ్? ఈజ్ దిస్ వాట్ అవర్ లైఫ్ ఇస్ ఫర్? One celebrity dies, makes a statue of it. By making a statue of it, is he going to see his glory after he going? These are, this is a false sense of material security. Whatever we are giving to our dependents is a false sense of material security. But we need to depend on Lord. So we need to understand, to return our work with knowledge of goal of life. This material world is a hospital, not a hotel. We need to understand this material world. Can you all say, Dukkhalayam Ashashwatam? You are not attentive. Dukkhalayam Ashashwatam. What is the meaning? What is the meaning? What is Dukkhalayam? Where the knowledge is given, where Vidya is given, what it is known as? Vidyalaya. Right? Yes or no? Where Anadhas stay, what it is called as? Anadhalaya. Dukkhalaya. Where the Dukkhas are there, that is Dukkhalaya. Can anyone say here that we have not faced Dukkha till now? Please. Because I am talking about it, nothing like that. Even if you raise that hand, I won't feel. Tell me, is anyone there who has not faced dukkha? So with the middle, so we need to understand that material world is a hospital but not hotel. Hotel. I want the, oh wow, wonderful. My kid, when we went to one 5-star hotel, we stayed in, due to some professional commitment. I taken my family to one 5-star hotel. My kids were very small and, bah, daddy, we will stay for another 3-4 days, daddy. What a wonderful swimming pool. What a wonderful toys. This thing is there. I will stay, daddy. Please, daddy, one more day we will stay. She was requesting me when we were near Mumbai. But this is not a hotel. This is a hospital where we need to get cured and go. Go where? Go where? Go where? Go back home, back to Godhead. Vaikunta Lokas or Goloka. Okay? So this is the third tip. Work with the knowledge of goal of life. We need to understand that. And the fourth tip. Art of performing. Refrain from stressors harmful to your body, mind and well-being. What are those four? 4 regs. Or give up unholy activities, non-veg, intoxication, gambling, illicit sex. These are the 4 regs. Non-veg includes meat, fish, eggs, anything. Intoxication, alcohol, drugs, tobacco, gambling, horse race, casino, lotteries, shares. Illicit sex, extramarital sex, obscene films, vulgar talks also comes under illicit sex. Okay? So yoga, what it actually is, yoga literally means union in love between soul and God. Yogi is a person whose life and activities are oriented towards establishing his relationship with God. Yogi could be anyone, doctor, engineer, professor, housewife. Don't think that yogi is a person who is having a big hair, kashaya vastra, and who is sitting in Himalayas doing Hare Ram. No. He is not only yogi. A personal or a associate or a professional who is working in a company can also be a yogi. Alfred Ford. How many of you heard about him? Alfred Ford. Ford cars, you might have seen, right? Ford cars. He is a CEO of a company. He was a CEO of a company. Ford Adhineta. He is a devotee. He is also a working professional. There are a lot of working professionals around us who work and also equally engage in devotional service. So as we are talking quota about quota, what we need to use, we generally pay income tax, right? So TDS, what is the full form of TDS? Wonderful, everyone knows the full form. Tax deducted at source, right? Tax deducted at source. So similarly, when we understand the quota allotted for us, then TDS definition changes to perform transcendental devotional service. Devotional service, transcendental devotional service we need to perform. Bhakti. Okay? So, this is what I'm controller. Karmi wants to be in control of money, situations and people and around as per his wish, but he is never satisfied. So Jagdish, sometimes Mini Jagdish tried to control anger by scolding colleagues. I have seen some of my bosses who are very peaceful and calm in nature, but when they get angry, they simply shout at people. So Mini Jagdish trying to control. True Jagdish, the supreme controller of universe who controls Jiva and Jagat. That's what we need to understand. So while exploiting the material nature, we forget we are spirit souls. When we become free from Maya, he attains mukti or liberation. Okay? So, difference between atheists and karmakandis. Atheists and karmakandis. Atheists, no faith in God and scriptures. Have faith in God and scriptures. Enjoy material desires with no regulations. Enjoy material desires with sanctions from God. Punished for sin. No sin, hence not punished. No purification, become more vicious. Purified, give up envy and feel dependence on God. Considered thief as they take supply from God, nature, demigods without performing any worship and gratitude. Not thief as they express their gratitude and worship through yagnas and regulated lifestyle described as per scriptures. But we need to introspect ourselves, Prabhujis and Matajis. This gratitude we might be having towards our parents for whatever the shape they have given to us, for our teachers, for whatever the professional excellence we are into right now, our colleagues. But we need to understand that all these were given by whom? It was given by God. So ultimate root we need to pour the water, not at the plants or leaves. So for that, austerity, sacrifice, we need to have cultivation of knowledge, associating with saintly people. Bhagavad, like that, we need to We need to elevate gradually to the kingdom of God. Until unless you associate, unless you people who follow this, unless you see people, unless you spend time with the people who are following this, you will not get that conviction. It is common with everything, Prabhuji. For example, you wanted to Sachin Tendulkar, you might have seen, you wanted to make your kid a Sachin Tendulkar, like a big cricket player, then you have to associate with the people who are good at cricket. Yes or no? You who are good at cricket, who are coaching in cricket, and who are having a good coaching experience in cricket, you will try to associate with them only from your kid. Yes or no? It is applicable even for the material thing also. Similarly for spiritual things also. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
When we feel gratitude towards our parents, we or some gurus, we dissociate from them because we see that they are different entities. The moment we start saying the same gratitude towards God, doesn't it mean that I feel I am different from Krishna?
You are different from Krishna. Yes, you are different from Krishna.
But how does it is same as Aham Brahmasmi. I am part of that same God.
Yes.
So if I am part of that same God,
yes,
should I feel gratitude or should I feel enabled that I am also doing the same work? I can extend it.
In a school, as an entity of a school, you are part and parcel of a school. All these kids are part and parcel of a school as a students, but all are reporting to teacher. All are reporting to teacher. As an entity, they are part of the same entity. So we are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. No doubt about it. But we need to understand the relationship between the Lord and us, as a student and teacher, as a servant and master. He is our master, he is our servant. We are servant, and we are receiving the service from him. Aham Brahmasmi are the cases. Yes, we are, as Mataji, one of the Matajis mentioned, Brahman. We are Brahman. Yes, we are Brahman. We are Brahman in the sense we are souls. In some one context, Brahman, similar to one single word having multiple meanings, the context changes in scriptures for each single word. Brahman is soul also. Brahman means effulgence also. Quality and quantity. Quality of soul is the same as Paramatma, but quantity is different. Quality is Satchitananda. He is Satchitananda, we are also Satchitananda, but we have forgot our Satchitananda quality by being polluted with the material environment, material world. So yoga ladder, extended yoga ladder. So that's what I was coming to, Mataji, your question. Here we are seeing animal life, karma kanda, sakama karma yoga, nishkama karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga and bhakti yoga. So here this explains all these things. So we need to understand karma is path of action. Karma is the path of action and performed by limbs, performed by our this limbs and all these things. And jnana is the path of knowledge and it is performed through our mind. Jnana is a path of knowledge, it is performed through mind. And even ashtanga yoga is a path of concentration, which is performed through our intelligence. And bhakti is a path of love performed with our heart. That we need to understand. Okay, so but the bhakti speciality is, in bhakti all the other parts like mind, intelligence and limbs of our body are engaged in bhakti, but in the remaining top three all are independently working. But in bhakti all the mind, intelligence, limb, body parts, heart, everything is there in the feet of Lord. That is bhakti, in bhakti. Progressive yoga ladder. So this is a progressively we can one by one. If you are in one stage, step by step we can go. But if you are express elevator, for example, if you have to go to, luckily you are having probably 12 floors, right, Prabhu? Apartments, 12 floors, right? 20, 17 floors. If I go to my home, Avatar, it is almost 30 floors. 30 floor. If I wanted to go to 30th floor, how will you prefer? Will you prefer going by step or lift? Lift. Bhakti is like a lift. So you can go, press 30, directly go, take bhakti. Bhakti process is very easy. But controlling mind, intelligence and limbs, forget it. Mind and intelligence controlling is very difficult. You have to start with body parts only. Okay, so that's what we are talking about, express elevator. and from karma kanda to karma yoga. So Krishna thus suggested that working for the Lord without desire for results is better for Arjuna than premature renunciation of work. Now Krishna tells Arjuna, but if you are not free from desire for the results of action, then you should still perform actions with desire. So better perform karma kanda. If you are still getting attached to the results, better perform karma kanda rather than renouncing. Premature renunciation is not at all good. Rather than performing premature renunciation, better do your karma kanda only. Be in LKG. Rather than not studying at all, better study UKG, no? Better than not studying anything, better study first class, no? That's what Krishna is saying. Am I clear, Prabhuji and Mataji? Try to understand here. Because in this chapter, lot of karma kanda, karma yoga, nishkama karma yoga, ashtanga yoga, gnana yoga, yoga. What is this yoga? Kuch bhi ho gaya. We get a feeling. So we need to understand that. Okay? So like this from karma kanda, we already have explained cycle of sacrifice. We also do sacrifice of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. How many of the people in IT companies might spend 1.5 to 2 hours only spending time in chanting? Prabhuji, 1.5 to 2 hours. I have a lot of work, Prabhuji. Okay. Now Krishna is talking about exemplary karma yogis. When he wanted, Krishna is saying like this, are there people like that? Nishkama karma yoga where they have renounced, they are free from the results and process. Like that also people are there who are able to engage all their senses in the God service. That kind of people are called who are engaging themselves in satisfying their material senses. They are called Indriya Ram. But those who are satisfying their senses in satisfying the senses of the Lord, they are karma yogis or Atma Rams. So karma yogis, who are the best karma yogi? Krishna quotes the example of Janaka Maharaj. So he is known as a very cool-headed king. Even he is one of the best crisis manager. In crisis he deals with a cool head. That's why Janaka name is quoted by Krishna himself. Okay, self-realized person has no duty for one who takes pleasure in the self, who is satisfied in the self, fully satisfied in himself alone. There is no obligation to do any prescribed actions, no taste for material pleasures, no purpose or gain in performing such actions, no reason for not performing such work too, no need to depend on any other living being or demigods. For getting satisfaction, there is no need for him to depend on anything else because he is having a connection with the Lord within himself. Within himself. We need to understand Prabhujis and Matajis. Okay, so Krishna himself has shown with his example, that he was having how many wives? How many wives? No.
5.
No.
2. 10.
No.
10.
You can't count, leave it. He was having 16,108 wives. 16,108 wives, and he never failed in his duties. As a Lord himself, he has shown doing yajna every day, waking up early in the morning, performing yajnas, giving cows in charity, and taking care of the kingdom in Dwaraka. Time nahi hai abhi, baad mein puchna. Okay. So he has shown with his own example. So what to do with the people who are with impure heart? That's what Arjuna asked. Impure heart. A self-realized soul need not work, yet he works. One who has spiritual intelligence doesn't perform prescribed actions with the desires, but does them without attachment to results to set the right example for others. So obligatory work with detachment. So that's what he is being talking about. So ignorant person thinks that everything is mine. Like sometimes have you seen dog and horse racing? If it happens, who wins? Horse, huh? Dog, huh?
Horse.
Ek batao. Horse wins. Yes, horse wins. Now, if we put a competition between barking between both of them, dog, huh? Yeah, dog. So, is it a right match? Competition between dog and horse in racing, and competition between dog and horse in barking. No, right? Yeah. So similarly, we need to understand that ignorant person thinks that everything is mine, but atheistics are proud of this. Don't think that it is given by, they never acknowledge that whatever the talent we got. For example, Einstein got a wonderful brain, but the brain was given by whom? Lord. That even atheist, Einstein also acknowledges. He also quoted so many statements where he acknowledged that acknowledges God's appearance or God's presence. Okay, so no need to. So these are proud, and whatever the talent is there given by nature through Krishna only. So no need to take sannyas. You do sannyas. So Krishna says the same thing, that whatever the sannyas you are thinking of, you do the sannyas of those things to me. Submit those sannyas or renunciate those things for me. That's what he points out. So in Vishwarup also he shows, like all this Bhishma, Karna, everything is going in his. That Vishwarup will be coming in 11th or 13th chapter, where you will be seeing that all these are going. Even if you are not killing, I will kill. Eventually I will kill. But I am making you just as an instrument. Do you think I can't kill them? Now Krishna, see how merciful he is, that he wanted to include every one of us in his plans. But we are not ready. We are not ready. It's not only about plan with क्या प्रभु हमको जाके क्या श्रीनगर जम्मू में जाके युद्ध करना है क्या? No, he is not expecting that. If you find around yourself, you can include yourself in his plans. Ask me, I will tell. Ask Sanjay Prabhu, Sunil Prabhu, who are week long, they are struggling to make these sessions happen. Are they not being part of Krishna's plans? They are working hard in propagating the knowledge of Krishna through these sessions. I am not from this community. I stay in Green Base community in Kajagoda. I am not from this community. But I know them. They are my God brothers. They have been coordinating with a lot of people, trying to arrange a lot of things for your comfort here, to serve you in best of our possibility, best of our ways. Okay? So like this, work according to one's nature. That's what Krishna was pointing out. And working according to one's nature, deep-rooted conditional nature. Yeah, here he was gradual purification. Already we have discussed deep-rooted conditioned nature. So now again he asks one thing. Krishna, those are not following the path will be eligible for punishment. It is clear. Whoever is not following the path, they will be eligible for punishment. And what to speak of other people who don't know about the punishment? For example, one is unaware of bad consequences. What happens if I do this bad thing? They are unaware. But one is aware of bad consequences and they are still doing it. Lot of people know. Being born in India, they know that karma and negative karma, they know. If I do something, negative will come back at a high level, they know. But despite knowing that, why they do it, Krishna? Like that Arjuna asks. Why they do it? Why they do it? Any guesses? Why they do it? They do it because of the deep-rooted conditioning due to the past lives. If you carefully introspect not only you, but surroundings or the close ones near you, there might be some negative tendency which never goes. Though he knows that it is wrong, but it never goes. One Prabhuji, and there are one Prabhuji, I know one Prabhuji, and he was asking another Prabhuji, and he asked that Prabhuji, called that Prabhuji, because he was not able to take out this gambling propensity. And he called him only because he has gambled and he completely got out of that, and he is calling him, and Prabhuji, can you talk with me for 10 minutes daily, only weekdays? I am not able to remove that propensity of gambling, because that deep-rooted propensity is there. So the deep-rooted conditioning nature coming life after life. That is the reason for doing that. Despite knowing of the consequences, they do it. And if you introspect, we are also do it. Yes or no? So it takes time. Train stopping, once the train suddenly breaks, it won't stop immediately, right? Similarly. Anyway, the last lesson is work according to one's nature is being pointed. So last lesson is What is the enemy of the soul? Who is the enemy of the soul? Any guesses? Only 10 minutes. Who is the enemy of the soul? Guess. Level. Negative karma. Good that you are using ISKCON terminologies very well. Negative karma. Okay. First of all, strong attachment that is prohibited for a soul is an enemy. Strong attachment. Any strong attachment which is prohibited for the soul is enemy of the soul, and that is lust. Lust is the enemy of the soul. Lust. That's what. Lust is any strong attachment which is prohibited. You like chocolates? Very much, huh? You love chocolates, but if you say your mom that I will eat 20 chocolates, will your mom allow? Why?
Because if I can have any chocolates, my teeth will be
Spoiled, right? So that is lust. So whatever is required, probably mummy might give you 1 or 2 chocolates, right? But if you take more than 2, then it is lust.
Sometimes I eat.
So anyway, leave it. So you got the concept. So whatever anything more is lust. So strong attachment that is prohibited for us is lust. So Arjuna is prohibited for renunciation. So our desire to go outside this quota is the enemy of our soul. And why it is, instead of purifying or liberating and come back to Godhead, our lust impulses us to go outside this quota always. Whatever the quota I mentioned, our tendencies impulses us to go beyond the quota. And if you carefully introspect, that happens despite the devotees who are coming to the session, or even for the non-devotees also. So you will see Ravana having a wonderful chaste wife. Who is the Ravana's wife? Mandodari. She was a chaste lady, wonderful wife he has, but still he wanted more. Dil mange more. Duryodhana could rule the entire world except for 5 villages. But he didn't agree. Yes or no? Duryodhana could rule the entire world, Prabhuji. He could have ruled the entire world except for 5 villages. What is that? That is pure lust only. So enemy of the lust which we have to curb is, Next one is, this one is Arjuna's question, Arjuna Uvacha. So he was pointing, lust causes material entanglement and 3 degrees of covering of lust. So we are talking about, enemy of soul is lust which we have to curb. Raga means raga and dvesha. Anyone knows what is the meaning of raga and dvesha? Raga means any attachment to wrong things. Dvesha means any detachment to right things. Clear? Shall I repeat? Are you getting it? Any attachment to wrong things is raga. Dvesha means any detachment to right things. Sanskrit is such a language, for each and everything we are having a word. English, no. Uncle, Chennana, Pedanana, Mama, Pedam, Pedamama, anyone uncle. Okay. So we need to understand that. So make a note that Maya can impel us but not compel us. Maya can only impel us but not compel us. Here we need to understand, if you go in train, I know time is getting over, 10 more minutes, it's a very important topic. If you are going in a train, you might have seen so many samosa, pakoda wala coming, right? Yes or no? I know you are eating prasadam type, but just unite your energy, whatever left energy is there for 10 more minutes. Okay? Everyone please, Shanti, please, kids, if you want to play, please go out. Very important topic. So no, don't, we should not talk here, okay? Maya can impel us but not compel us. That means you are going in a train and pakoda and whatever. Pakoda or bhaji wala guy would be coming. After seeing the smell, wow, na Sami Ranga, ye mundra smell. You might be thinking, right? But it can impel you. But will the samosa guy will come and forcibly open your mouth and stuff the thing in your mouth? No, right? He can't compel you, right? So that's what Maya can do. It can impel us, but it cannot compel us. So it depends on us whether we need to. Humans are like that fire covered. Okay, we can that attracting stuff can impel us but not compel us. We need to have that strong knowledge of scriptures, faith in Guru to overcome that allurements of material world. Okay, any questions? I hope the statement is pretty clear. So lust causes material entanglement. So lust is when the lust fulfills. For example, mummy chocolates, the same kid, she was talking about chocolates. Mummy only gives 2 chocolates, but she wants more, and without mummy's knowledge, she takes more chocolates. That is greed. Once lust fulfills, it leads to greed. I want more. Naaku dakkanidi evariki dakkakoodu. Greed. Once lust is fulfilled, it wants more. And if lust is not fulfilled, it leads to anger. If mummy will not give the 2 chocolates also, you will get angry or not? Yes or no? No, you will not get angry. I will see. So general parlance, if the lust is not fulfilled, it leads to anger. Okay. So those who inquire about spiritual subjects are Brahmanas. Already we discussed. So Krishna, where lust resides. Where does lust reside? Tell me. 10 more minutes, Prabhuji said, Mataji. So, where lust resides? Any guesses? Lust resides in 3 places: mind, intelligence, and senses. Mind, intelligence, and senses. Mind, intelligence, chhod do. You can't conquer over them. Without any iota of doubt, you can't conquer. You have to only target senses. So that senses only we can first target, because it's very difficult to tackle both mind and intelligence. It's very easy to begin with senses, because out of sight is out of mind. Out of sight is out of mind. That's what here the figure was shown. Do you know this story? What it is talking about? Anyone knows what this picture shows? Tell me. Okay, it is a Ajamila story wherein Ajamil sees a lower class woman getting together with a lower class man, and he sees and instead of taking out the senses, seeing the senses, he does the Vishnu Smaran. I should not see this. Please forgive me. Like that, he was seeing only. The senses were not being removed from the sight, but still he was chanting. That is wrong. The better would have been, he first should have gone out of that sight and then chanted the holy names, which he could not do. So by first we need to regulate the senses. One should not try to conquer over the mind and intelligence first, because they are more powerful than the senses. Okay? So that's what is being talked about. So lust flows from outside through senses. So lust always go outside. So it tries to see for outside senses. Eyes, I should see wonderful things, stuff and all. Eating, I should eat extra stuff and all. It thinks. Okay? So lust. So sometimes you might ask, Prabhu, is it really necessary to think about God, goal of life, etc. and all? You might think. So if senses are looking for enjoyment, what wrong is there? These enjoyments are nectar in beginning and poison at the end. So yogis get ocean of enjoyment in God. We might be thinking, what is wrong in enjoying? How many of you got this thought? ఏం ప్రభుజీ, మనకు సెన్సెస్ ఇచ్చింది అనుభవించడానికి కదా, ఎన్ని సినిమాలు రాలేదు అనుభవించు రాజా అని అనేటట్టుగా. ఏం తప్పు ఉంది ఎంజాయ్మెంట్ చేస్తే? ఇస్ ఇట్ వాట్ రాంగ్ ఇస్ దేర్ ఎంజాయింగ్? వాట్ రాంగ్ ఇస్ దేర్? There is a limit. What wrong is it? Is it a logical question or not? What wrong is there in our engaging our senses in enjoyment? What wrong is there? God only has given. Claps. Too much of enjoyment is not good. That's good. So too much of enjoyment is not good. So these enjoyments are only for a short time. Even if you say whatever, if you see carefully, gulab jamun, you like gulab jamun. How much gulab jamun you eat? 2 gulab jamun, 3 gulab jamun. If you eat 10 gulab jamuns, you know what will happen.
I only eat one or two.
Wonderful. Okay. So yogi, but when we see yogis, no, they experience ocean of enjoyment internally. They are Atmarams. So in this chapter, Krishna teaches there is no need to run away from daily activities. Those times it was properly divided into four varnas, but later it got polluted like casteism and all. And I already took the example of a family of Rishabdev who was there. You know, so this association, the making of habit is very much important. I told the thoughts never incur any sins. As I mentioned, in this Kali Yuga, thoughts will not incur any sins. For example, I am thinking bad about others. That Prabhuji ko accident hone ka hi hai. If I am thinking bad about that, won't incur any sins. But eventually, that thoughts might lead to action. That is the reason why we are trying to even avoid the thoughts also. So this is the cycle, you know, thoughts, meditation on thoughts or dhyana, and action, experience, habit, and association, sangha. So depending on that, you associate with that kind of people. Okay. So 6 urges to be controlled. Urge to speak. Unnecessary nonsense, don't speak. Speak about Krishna. I already given an example last time, right? We were thinking of how to distribute this Bhagavadgita books to outside people. Simply, if we'll ask, they will scold us. Then we thought of a plan. We will do a skit in front of everyone. I myself and another Prabhuji will fight in front of everyone like anything. And for what? That Bhagavad-Gita should come for me. We will fight like that. And we'll create a scene there. Everyone will come. And then we'll ask them, why are you fighting? You only do justice. Like that we will encourage. Though it's a silly reason, but we are thinking about Lord. We are thinking about how to distribute Bhagavatam sets or Bhagavad Gita sets. Okay, urge to speak, mind's demands, urge of tongue, anger, urge of belly, and urge of genitals. These are the 6 urges to be controlled. Urge to speak, mind's demands, same. Okay, so this is the last slide. Ultra pure. Actually, every living entity is intended to abide by the dictation of Paramatma. When the mind is misled by the external illusory energy, one becomes entangled in material activities. The effect of controlling the mind is that one automatically follows the dictation of Paramatma or soul, super soul. Effect of controlling mind is that one automatically follows the dictation. Yeah, the same thing. Yeah. So may our minds and senses be controlled by spiritual intelligence and always engaged in the service of Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna. Any questions, Prabhuji and Mataji's? Each and everything I explained. Karma Kanda, Nishkama Karma, Ashtanga Yoga, Gnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. Any questions? You can introspect over the session what happened, and if you have any questions, you can please post it in the group itself. We'll try to answer. We'll take the perspectives. Okay. Anything else? Chapapa. What is meditation? Meditation means you are concentrating your thoughts on the lotus feet of the Lord. What is?
Concentrate on your
Breath. That is pranayama. That's also one kind of meditation. That's also one kind of meditation. Yes. That's also one kind of meditation only. But ultimate meditation is meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord. Ultimate.
Then how will you meditate?
Do chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Yeah. Any questions, Prabhuji and Mataji's? I know it's high time today. It was a long session. It was a big chapter also. So I took long time. Really sorry for taking long time. Okay, I will wait for 10 seconds for any questions. Otherwise, we will quickly go for Narsimharati and Prasada. We will personally discuss now. If you ask for some more time, they will all beat me.